Have you ever quietly asked yourself why you work just as hard as everyone else, but luck always seems to miss your door by a few inches? Have you ever watched other people's lives bloom, one opportunity after another, and wondered if blessings are something you simply were not born with? Welcome back to the channel, my friend. I am really glad you are here. Today we are going to talk about a question almost everyone has asked in their heart, but very few people really understand in a deep way. When will my blessings finally come? Is it all fate, or is there something I can actually do? Why do some people seem to be surrounded by good fortune, while others feel like they are walking through fog, constantly tripping over unseen stones? The core idea we are exploring is this: blessings are not random prizes thrown down by a mysterious sky. They are not sealed rate envelopes hidden in some invisible account, waiting for a certain birthday or a particular year. Blessings are the ripening of countless causes and conditions you yourself have planted, protected, and nourished over time. They are the quiet result of your thoughts, words, and actions, repeated again and again, sometimes over many lifetimes, until one day they flower. And here is the part that often surprises people. Before big blessings arrive on the outside, they almost always send small signals on the inside. Your mood shifts. Your attitude toward problems changes. The way you speak, the way you treat others, the way you respond to criticism, all start to move in a different direction. Long before a promotion, a windfall, or a life-changing opportunity appears, there are subtle inner and outer signs that your destiny is already turning. In this long, story-filled journey, we are going to walk through those signs together. We will look at how blessings are linked to karma and cause and effect, how they show up as good fortune in different forms, and how you can tell whether you are currently accumulating blessings or quietly spending them down. We will talk about the people who show up as teachers in your life, the way you meet adversity, and the strange moments when everything seems to fall apart right before something new begins. We will also look frankly at the opposite direction. There are times when life looks shiny on the surface, but inside the heart is dry. Relationships are cracking, and blessings are being drained like water from a leaky bucket. Understanding those warning signs is just as important as recognizing the signs of blessings approaching. Most of all, we will keep returning to one simple but powerful shift. Instead of obsessing over when will my blessings come, we will learn to ask, what kind of person am I becoming today? And would blessings want to live in a heart like this? So let us start with a very human scene. Imagine someone like Lena. She is in her late 30s, working long hours at a job that never seems to pay quite enough. She wakes up to an alarm she hates, drags herself onto a crowded train, spends the day answering emails, dealing with unreasonable clients, eating lunch at her desk, and staring at spreadsheets that blur into gray. When she scrolls through her phone at night, she sees the highlight reels of her old classmates. One has opened a successful business. Another just bought a house. Someone else posts photos from yet another trip to a beautiful island. She looks around her small rented apartment and thinks, I am not lazy. I am not stupid. Why do other people's lives look like an endless series of upgrades, and mine feels like a loop stuck on repeat? On her more bitter days, she compares herself to a character in a game where everyone else seems to have lucky drops, bonus items, hidden treasures. She, on the other hand, feels like the one with the beginner's gear, swatting at monsters with a wooden stick. One evening, after a particularly rough day when a colleague got the promotion she had secretly hoped for, she sits on the edge of her bed and whispers, maybe I just do not have blessings. Maybe in whatever lottery happened before birth, my number never came up. Have you ever felt like that? That sense of being left out of some invisible distribution of good fortune? Now let us turn the scene slightly. On the other side of town, there is a small shop in a busy market street. The owner is a woman in her 40s. We can call her Auntie May. She runs a little snack shop, Nothing fancy. Just simple food: rice, noodles, some fried dishes, drinks in a cooler. Every day she wakes up before sunrise, goes to the wholesale market, hauls back bags of raw ingredients, then stands for hours cooking and serving. If you met her a few years ago, you would have found a woman who wore her exhaustion and resentment like a heavy coat. She used to complain constantly about the government, about customers, about suppliers, about her husband, about her employees, about her own body. Her most common sentence was, "I just have no blessings. Everything I do is unlucky." If an employee made a small mistake, she would burst out, "Why are you all so useless? My life is really cursed." If business was slow on a rainy day, she would mutter loud enough for everyone to hear, "Look at my fate. Always like this. No blessings, no luck." She thought she was venting, but in truth, every complaint was like punching another hole in the bottom of her blessing bucket. Her words cut her employees, scared away customers, and poisoned her own mind. The more she said, "I have no blessings," the more she behaved like someone who had none. And life mirrored that back to her in countless small, painful ways. Then something unexpected happened. One afternoon, a friend invited her to a talk about karma, cause and effect, and blessings. She did not really want to go. She thought, those spiritual people only talk about vague things. They do not know what real life is like. But the friend insisted. So she went, mostly just to be polite. The speaker that day did not talk about miracles or magical shortcuts. He simply said one sentence that hit her like a hammer to the chest. People who constantly say they have no blessings are often leaking the little blessings they still have, drop by drop. The blessings that truly want to come are waiting for one thing: a genuine change of heart. For some reason, that sentence did not pass through her ears like all the other advice she had heard. It landed in her heart. She suddenly saw herself from the outside, standing behind her counter, criticizing employees, snapping at customers, rolling her eyes at her husband, grumbling to anyone who would listen about how terrible her life was. She went home that night and sat in the dark for a long time. Then she made a decision that, at the time, felt small and almost silly. She decided to start by cleaning up her mouth. She could not change the economy overnight. She could not magically turn her little shop into a chain business. She could not rewrite her past. But she could, from that day forward, reduce the poison in her speech. She set two simple rules for herself. First, complain less by at least one sentence a day. Second, add at least one sincere sentence of gratitude or kindness. If she wanted to criticize someone, she would stop and take a breath first. If she needed to correct an employee, she would do it more clearly and less sharply. If a customer walked in, she would greet them with a real welcome instead of a cold, mechanical tone. In the beginning it felt fake, almost like an actor rehearsing lines. She sometimes caught herself forcing a smile and could hear a cynical voice in her head saying, "Look at you pretending to be nice," as if that will change anything. But she had promised herself to try it for 3 months. 3 months later, when she looked around her shop, she realized something strange had happened. Her employees were no longer so tense around her. They made fewer passive-aggressive mistakes. They came to her with suggestions instead of just waiting to be yelled at. The overall atmosphere in the shop softened. Customers who used to grab their food and leave began to linger, chatting a bit, making small jokes. Some of them came back regularly, and even brought friends. "This place feels good," one of them said casually while paying. "I like the energy here," without any big marketing campaigns. Her daily sales ticked upward. Nothing dramatic at first, but steadily. At the end of the month, she noticed that the stack of receipts was thicker than before. She went back to the same spiritual teacher and asked, half laughing, half serious, "Did some deity finally look at me and say, 'Fine, I will give you some blessings now'?" The teacher smiled and replied, "Blessings weren't ever far away. You just used to slam the door in their face. Now you are opening that door a little, day by day." That is one of the most important secrets about blessings. They do not appear out of nowhere. They flow into spaces that are ready to receive them. And ready does not mean perfect. It does not mean you have to become a saint. It means your mind and actions are moving in a direction that aligns with generosity, humility, patience, and honesty. From a spiritual perspective, every moment is planting seeds. The way you speak, the way you treat others, the way you think in secret when no one is watching, all of that is silently writing your future. If you want to know what seeds you planted in the past, look at what you are experiencing now. If you want to know what you will experience in the future, look at what you are planting in your heart and your actions today. Blessings are not a mood of the universe. They are the natural response of cause and effect. Now let us talk about those subtle signs that blessings are approaching. Not the flashy ones like suddenly winning a lottery, but the quiet signals that your life is already turning, even if your bank account has not yet caught up. One of the clearest signs that blessings are getting closer is this: you start meeting people who act as wise mirrors for you. In traditional teachings, they are sometimes called good spiritual friends, but they can show up in very ordinary forms. A manager who is strict but fair and pushes you to grow instead of letting you drift. A friend who dares to tell you truth you do not want to hear. A mentor who appears at just the right time, not to flatter you, but to challenge your laziness or your arrogance. When your blessings are thin, you might be surrounded mostly by people who either ignore you or only tell you what you want to hear. When blessings start to gather, you will often suddenly meet someone whose words sting at first, but later you realize they were exactly what you needed. The problem is, many of us treat these people as enemies. Think of David, a young man in his 20s, working at a design company. He is talented, but disorganized. He often submits work at the last minute, and when criticized, he quickly defends himself. His previous managers either overlooked his flaws because he produced creative work, or they eventually fired him without explaining much. At his new job, he meets a manager named Emma. She is not harsh, but she is very direct. She points out errors in his files, calls him out when he arrives late, and asks uncomfortable questions like, "You have talent, but do you really want to be a professional? Or are you satisfied being a gifted amateur forever?" At first, he hates her. He complains to his friends, "She is always picking on me. She does not appreciate my style. Why can she not just let me work the way I want?" One night, after another tense feedback meeting, he goes home ready to rant again. But as he lies in bed, something feels different this time. Slowly he realizes that every criticism she made was actually true. He does rely on last-minute inspiration. He does procrastinate. He does hide behind the excuse of artistic temperament when he simply has poor discipline. The next morning, instead of sulking, he goes to his manager and says, "I know I have been defensive. I want to change. Can you help me build a routine?" That moment of humility is a turning point. It is a sign of blessings approaching, because he is finally willing to accept a teacher life has sent him. When blessings are near, life often gives you a person who acts like a polishing stone. If you allow yourself to be polished, you shine. If you run away because the polishing feels uncomfortable, you may stay dull for a long time. Another sign that blessings are gathering is that your attitude toward difficulty changes, even slightly. When your luck feels low and your mind is reactive, every obstacle looks like an attack. Every delay looks like bad fate. Every critique feels like humiliation. You ask, "Why me?" with resentment. When blessings begin to gather, you may still feel pain when things go wrong, but a new voice quietly appears underneath. It asks different questions. What is life trying to show me here? What is this situation teaching me about my habits, my fears, my attachments? How can I respond differently this time? Imagine someone who loses their job. In an unexamined state, they might think, "My luck is terrible. Life is unfair. I am a victim." They might sink into bitterness, blame everyone, and use their free time to scroll endlessly and envy others. Another person in the same situation will of course feel shocked and worried. They might even cry. But after some time, they begin to ask, "What did this job teach me? What skills did I gain? What patterns was I repeating that made this ending almost inevitable? If this door has closed, what kind of work would align better with my values and strengths?" That shift from pure complaint to curiosity and responsibility is a key sign that blessings are coming. Not because losing the job was fun, but because the way you meet that loss is planting powerful seeds for the future. Blessings are not only about what happens to you, they are about who you become in response. There is another kind of subtle signal that people rarely talk about. It is the urge to clean up your life, even in small ways. You start wanting to tidy your room, organize your finances, pay off debts, apologize to people you have neglected, or break habits that secretly make you feel ashamed. On the surface, this might look like simple self-minus improvement, but on a deeper level, it often means your inner world is getting ready for more responsibility and more light. Blessings, especially bigger ones, are heavy. They require you to hold them without collapsing. If your life is full of chaos, lies, and unresolved mess, blessings have nowhere stable to land. When you feel the desire to make amends, to simplify, to be more honest with yourself and others, do not ignore it. That desire is often a whisper from the wiser part of your mind, guiding you toward a state where good fortune can stay instead of just passing through like a brief visitor. Now, just as there are signs that blessings are approaching, there are signs that blessings are quietly being drained. These signs do not always appear in poor people. In fact, they often show up in those who look outwardly successful. One of the clearest is growing arrogance. Picture a man who started out with very little. In his younger years, he was humble, hardworking, respectful. As his career progressed, he had good mentors, learned quickly, and seized opportunities. Over time, he built a strong business, bought a nice house, and became known in his field. At first, he was grateful. He remembered the tough days. He treated employees kindly. He shared his experience with younger people who were just starting. But as his success grew, something subtle shifted. He began to use his achievements as a measuring stick to judge others. Why are they still so poor? They must be lazy. If I can do it, anyone can do it. If they cannot, it is their fault. He stopped listening to advice. Whenever someone suggested a different perspective, he would cut them off with, "You do not understand. I know what I am doing." He started to treat his family as accessories to his image. His spouse became the person who should support him rather than a partner. His children's value became tied to their ability to bring him pride. Employees turned into tools to be squeezed, rather than people to be cared for. From the outside, his life still looked blessed. Nice car, nice house, invitations to events, people wanting his attention. But slowly, the quality of those blessings began to change. Sincere friends withdrew, replaced by flatterers. Family dinners became tense. His health began to show signs of stress. He slept poorly, felt restless, even on vacation, and needed more and more external stimulation to feel important. This is what it looks like when blessings are being burned like dry wood in a fire that is too hot. It is not always immediately obvious. In fact, this stage can be the brightest. Just like a candle often burns strongest right before it dies. Another warning sign is the drying of the heart. A person whose blessings are being drained will often lose the ability to feel genuine gratitude. No matter what they eat, it tastes normal. No matter where they live, it feels insufficient. No matter how many people care about them, it feels like not enough. They begin to see everything through the lens of entitlement. I deserve this. I am owed this. Of course people should treat me well. If they do not, something is wrong with them. There is no sense of I am fortunate. There is only finally, what should be mine? At first, such a person may still have material comfort, but over the years, they find themselves more and more alone. People who genuinely love them feel unappreciated and drift away. Work relationships become transactional. Even when surrounded by crowds, they feel strangely hollow. That inner emptiness is one of the clearest signs that blessings are leaving. So how can you tell which way you are moving right now? There is a simple nightly reflection you can quietly use as a compass. Before you go to sleep, ask yourself a few questions. Did I speak any words that I know would hurt someone's heart? Did I complain more than necessary? Or did I try to understand another side? Did I gossip or deliberately damage someone's reputation? Did I make any choices purely out of greed, knowing deep down that they were not clean or kind? Did I celebrate someone else's success from the heart even once? Or did I mostly feel jealous and bitter? Today, did I do at least one small act of kindness, even if no one noticed? Maybe I let someone ahead of me in line, answered a message gently instead of harshly, gave sincere encouragement, or helped someone save face in an awkward moment. If most of your honest answers reveal a day filled with resentment, harshness, jealousy, and selfishness, then it is like lure, or spending blessings faster than you are earning them. If, on the other hand, you find yourself gradually becoming more willing to apologize, more willing to be considerate, more willing to give without calculating, then you are actively planting and protecting your blessings. And remember, blessings do not come in only one form. Many people automatically equate blessings with money. They think of big salaries, luxury homes, expensive cars, glamorous travel. But from a deeper point of view, blessings appear in at least several major forms. A body that, while not perfect, functions reasonably well and allows you to work, move, think, and love is a blessing. A family that, even with occasional arguments, does not fall apart in hatred is a blessing. Friends who genuinely care and show up when you are in need are blessings. Having a stable job or skill, even if it is not glamorous, is a blessing. The ability to sleep without being eaten alive by guilt or fear is a blessing. Even more subtle, but greater than many visible blessings, is the opportunity to encounter true teachings about life, mind, cause and effect, and inner transformation. Many people spend their entire lives chasing pleasure and status, never once hearing that there is another way to live. If you are able to hear ideas about karma, midfulsons, compassion, and awakening, and something in you resonates, that itself is a sign of deep blessings already present. Think about it. There are people who seem rich, but their bodies are fragile, full of pain and disease. They have money, but no appetite. A beautiful house, but it feels like a golden cage. There are others who are famous, but cannot put their phone down for even a few minutes because they are terrified of losing relevance. Their minds are chained to other people's opinions. There are people who have made large fortunes in dirty ways and live with an invisible anxiety, always looking over their shoulder, afraid of exposure, punishment, or karmic payback. Outwardly, they shine. Inwardly, they tremble. Are these truly blessed lies? Now imagine an old couple living in a simple apartment. Their furniture is worn, their curtains a bit faded. They are not poor, but they are not rich either. Every evening, the smell of home minus cooked food fills the air as children and grandchildren come over for dinner. They talk, laugh, share stories. They sometimes argue, but always return to warmth. The old man takes a slow walk every morning, greeting neighbors. He has some aches, but he can still move around. At night, he lies in bed with a relatively peaceful mind, not haunted by a long trail of betrayals or crimes. When he hears teachings about compassion and cause and effect, he feels grateful, as if someone has finally put into words what he vaguely sensed all his life. Is he less blessed than the anxious, rich businessman? From a spiritual perspective, the old man's blessings might actually be greater, because they are more stable, closer to contentment and wisdom. So when you ask yourself, when will my blessings come? It can be very helpful to also ask, am I only looking at one narrow type of blessing and ignoring the many forms that already surround me? If you can walk, if you can see, if you can hear, if you have at least one person who cares about you, if you have eaten today, if you can still choose to change something in your life, then you already have blessings. The moment you recognize and appreciate them, you open the door for more. The moment you take them for granted and complain that they are not enough, you start to tip the cup over. But what if, right now, your life really feels heavy and dark? What if you are sick, in debt, lonely, or stuck in a situation that hurts? Is it fair to say you are blessed then? This is where the deeper understanding of karma and destiny becomes both challenging and powerful. The idea is not to deny pain or force yourself to pretend everything is fine. If you are suffering, your suffering is real and deserves care. But at the same time, from a broader view, difficult periods in life are often times when you are repaying old debts or going through intense exams that can burn through negative patterns faster. Imagine you borrowed money for years and never really thought about it. One day, all the lenders come at once. For a while, things are extremely tight. You may have to cut back on many comforts, work extra hours, swallow your pride. It feels awful, but as you pay off those debts, your future becomes lighter. Spiritual teachings often compare karmic repayment to this. When you go through a series of hardships, you may actually be clearing away burdens that would otherwise follow you for a very long time. Does that mean you should just lie down and say, everything is karma, I cannot do anything? Absolutely not. It means you accept what is already happening without too much why me, and use it as fuel to change your mind and actions. If you are in pain, you can still ask, in this situation, how can I be just a little more patient, a little more honest, a little more kind? Maybe it is as simple as not taking your frustration out on the cashier at the supermarket. Maybe it is choosing to speak gently to your child even after a stressful day. Maybe it is choosing not to sink into bitterness, but to treat your struggle as a lesson that will one day become a story of encouragement for someone else. A farmer does not dig up his field every week to check whether the seeds are sprouting. He trusts the process. He waters, he weeds, he protects, and he waits. In the same way, once you begin to consciously plant good seeds through your thoughts, words, and actions, you will not always see instant results. Some seeds grow fast, like grass. Some seeds are like trees, which require seasons of care before they bear fruit. Blessings sometimes come as obvious gifts: a new job, a healed illness, a kind relationship. Sometimes they come as disasters that did not happen because you turned left instead of right at a crucial moment. Sometimes they come as a chance encounter with a teaching or a person that changes your entire understanding of life. Strangely, the greatest blessing is not a life without suffering. It is a mind that knows how to meet suffering with wisdom and compassion. A mind that understands that everything passes, that insists, bless on it must be my way, and moves more in tune with reality as it is. So perhaps the most important shift you can make, starting today, is this. Instead of anxiously asking, when will my blessings come? Ask, what can I do today that makes it easier for blessings to stay? Today, can I reduce my complaining even a little? Can I catch myself before I speak words that cut others, and choose clearer, kinder language instead? Can I sincerely congratulate someone else on their success? Can I spend a few minutes reflecting honestly on my own faults? Not with self-hatred, but with humility. If you practice that day after day, you will notice small changes first, Your relationships will soften. Your body may feel less tense. Your sleep may improve. Then, opportunities will begin to appear. A helpful person, a new job opening, a chance to learn a valuable skill, a doorway into a deeper spiritual path. From the outside, people may say, "You are so lucky lately." From the inside, you will know that luck is not the right word. You will feel that what they call luck is simply the visible tip of a long, invisible process of inner cultivation. As we move toward the end of this long sharing, I want to speak to you very personally. Maybe you have had seasons when everything seemed to go wrong at once. Illness, loss, heartbreak, financial collapse. Maybe you looked up at the sky and thought, if there is such a thing as blessings, they clearly do not belong to me. I want to invite you to consider one possibility. What if this period, as brutal as it feels, is actually the time when the deep structure of your destiny is being rewritten? When an old pattern is collapsing so that something truer and kinder can grow. There is a line of wisdom that says something like, when the house is being rebuilt, it looks worse than before for a while. The walls are broken. Dust is everywhere. Wires hang. Pipes are exposed. If you walk in halfway unjudged, you will think, this place is destroyed. But if you know it is under renovation, your view changes. You may still sneeze from the dust, but you walk with a different kind of patience. Your life can be like that. When blessings are being prepared, sometimes the old structure of your life must be shaken. Relationships that weren't ever truly healthy must end. Jobs that never fit your soul must be taken away. Illusions about yourself must be shattered. It feels like ruin, but from another angle, it is transformation. Of course, this does not mean every hardship is a sign of upcoming blessings. Some hardships are simply consequences of our own stubbornness. But in both cases, the way forward is similar. Look honestly. Accept responsibility where it is yours. Forgive yourself where you did not know better. And make better choices now. I also want to tell you this. No blessing is ever too late. You might think, I am already middle-aged or older. It is too late for my life to turn around. But the deepest blessings often arrive in the second half of life, when youth's impatience has softened, when status is less important, and the heart is ready for depth. Even a single year lived with clarity can be more meaningful than decades lived in confusion. So let us make a quiet promise together. From today on, we will not just sit and wait for blessings, as if they are trains scheduled on someone else's timetable. We will become the kind of person who walks toward them. We will practice gratitude for what is already here. We will practice restraint with our harmful impulses. We will practice courage in facing our own shadows. We will practice kindness, even in small, clumsy ways. One day, you will look back and realize that your blessings did not arrive in one dramatic explosion. They arrived in countless small shifts. In the moment you swallowed a cruel remark and chose a kinder one. In the afternoon you stayed honest when cheating would have been easier. In the evening you apologized instead of going to sleep hard and proud. In the quiet mornings when you sat for a few minutes just observing your mind, instead of drowning in noise. All of those are the steps of blessings walking toward you. Now I would love to hear from you. Have you ever noticed subtle signs in your own life that things were turning before the big changes happened? Maybe you met a person who challenged you in a way that did not feel comfortable at the time, but later you realized they were a blessing in disguise. Maybe there was a moment when you were forced to face your own arrogance or selfishness, and that painful realization became the starting point of a better you. If you feel comfortable, share your experiences in the comments. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to read on the day they are about to give up hope. If this long reflection resonated with you, please remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment. That simple support helps this space continue to exist and grow, so that more people can find guidance and companionship on their path. If you would like to go even deeper, you are warmly invited to join as a channel member. where we explore more stories, practices, and insights about awakening, wisdom, karma, compassion, and the mysterious way destiny can turn when the heart changes. Thank you for walking through this with me until the very end. May you recognize the blessings you already have. May you stop leaking them through careless words and action. May you plant new blessings each day through kindness, honesty, and courage. And may you discover, again and again, that the greatest blessing is a clear, gentle, and fearless heart.
Every person carries a certain energy. Your focus, your dreams, your purpose. Bracelet is a physical reminder of that energy. Symbol you wear daily that pushes you to stay grounded, balanced, and aligned. If one of the bracelets caught your eye, you can order it through the link in the description and check more powerful styles on our homepage store. Choose the one that strengthens your journey.